Hi there, and welcome back to Stubbs Aquatics. Liking the new digs? Me too. Kids got it for me for Father's Day. Can't ask for better than this. I'm loving it. Speaking of loving it and new digs, you got to come with me and we got to check out the 100-gallon Hygger remake. It's finally done. It's been running for over a month. You're not going to believe it until you see it. So come on with me and we'll go check it out. Are you coming or what? Let's go!
Just a reminder what my 100-gallon fish tank used to look like.
Boring!
Now that's before, now you get to see the after. Now you might be asking yourself, why are we sitting here in the dark? Well, we're really not. We're just waiting on the Hygger programmable LED full spectrum light to come on. It mimics sunrise and it slowly comes on. That way your fish aren't afraid. They don't get jolted awake. They're slowly waking up and they're nice and calm. This Hygger light really does mimic daylight. As it gradually comes on, it gets brighter and brighter. I have it set to go to the max of about 90%. You can choose anywhere from 10 to 100%, which I think is great depending on what type of plants you have. And as the daylight progresses and I take you through the tour, you'll see all the different types of plants that I have on this, and that they all require different types of lighting. Now you can see the fish are starting to mill about, and I'm going to take you for the tour now.
Finally, the tour. So you can see I tried to do a bit of a mountain or hillscape here, just to give it a bit of a difference in terrain and a different look to it. There's lots of caves and crevices for the corridors to hide in and maybe even breed. I've put some soil substrate in here just to give the plants a fighting chance, especially with barbs. And they seem to be doing well. As you can see, the cories do love the cave system in here. You often see them coming out of them, and it's kind of a surprise when they do, because you didn't expect them to. You can see that I've got the air stone fully up. Lots of oxygen, just tons and tons of it. Lots of water movement, which I wanted. I placed the heater here. It's pretty close to the center of the tank, but not quite, but good enough that it's going to get a proper distribution of the heat. I placed my sponge filter in behind the log here to hide it as best I can. Sponge filters and heaters, you're never really going to fully hide. See, the cosmos has finally come out to visit. You'll note on this side of the tank, it's a little bit quieter. And that's because I wanted it a little quieter, because I have water lilies growing. Yes, I said water lilies. It's very rare for anyone to be able to get water lilies to grow in a fish tank, especially when you're not fertilizing them. And they're relying strictly on the light and the nutrition the fish are providing for them. You can see the root system on this is just phenomenal. Like, it's really doing well. So obviously everything's working in conjunction with each other. The fish are all happy, the plants are growing well, and again, I don't add CO2 or any fertilizer sticks. The fish that I have in here, I've already mentioned the corridors, and there's some Clausmas. I've got my favorite fish being the Odessa barb, and the fish that I've been looking for 2 years being the Aurelius barb. They're all doing well and quite healthy and happy. Now I probably won't add any more fish to this tank other than the barbs that I have outside that are hopefully breeding. But that's a different subject altogether. You note that I'm using my Hygger glass cleaner. It's just phenomenal. And look how well that just cleans everything up. And you know you're not going to scratch anything. So continuing on this tour, I've got some anubias growing off the driftwood. The driftwood all came from a certain area that I like to collect driftwood. So obviously that didn't cost me anything other than a bit of time and drilling holes in rocks. I'm going to show you the thermostat for the Hygger heater. I've got it set for 74. That's registering 73.2, which is fine. It's well within the parameters. The digital thermometer, I've got the alarm to go off if it drops below 68 or goes over 83. It's currently reading 72.3. Yes, that's a full degree off what the thermostat at. But you have to remember, this is in my basement, and that's on the outside of my tank. The inside of the tank is much warmer. Now, because Hygger currently does not make a hang on the back filter, I did have to add a filter to it. And I've got lots of live plants, being some pothos and some spider plants growing out of it, just to eat up that much more nitrogen. So you'll see a bit of a light above, and that's strictly for these plants only. And that only comes on for about 6 hours a day max. So I think it's been a great change, and Hygger certainly lived up to the challenge of 6 products and will totally change your tank. And they certainly did. I'm thoroughly impressed. And like I said before, these are my favorite fish. You're going to see them often, and you're going to see these products often. So you'll know if something's not working, because you're always going to see this tank, because it's my show tank, and it's got my favorite species in it. Man, that's a big change. I'm loving it. Thanks again, Hygger. I just want to say thanks again to Hygger for these 6 wonderful products that totally changed the tank. It went from night and day change because of their products. I just want to say thanks again, and don't forget to check out the links that I provided, that being the official Hygger website page for all their products, their Facebook, and now their new Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to the Instagram. It's a growing channel. You're going to like it, and best to get in there first. You never know what's going to happen.